reconstruction of a new hospital. And you know, we naming the hospital the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. But one of the reasons why that has been done is because once we ascribe the word China to this hospital, we expect them to take care of it for us, you know. So when you say I need a new piece of equipment, hello? Say it to us from Beijing. So, and also as a sense and a demonstration of gratitude to the government of China. A sincere government, a sincere people who have stood with us for the last 15 years.
The China-Dominica Friendship Hospital. Recently, we celebrated our 15th anniversary with our friendship with China, and it was because of our leader and this Dominican Labour Party government that we established that relationship. Of course, we have benefited greatly, and the hospital is just one of the projects that we have gotten from that relationship. Construction is still on the way, but everything is progressing nicely. Ideally, we should have been already in this hospital, but we had to look at our Chinese workers leaving our shores because of Hurricane Maria. However, we are back on the stream, and as we talk, we are getting ready.
Let me give you an example. We had diplomatic relationship with Venezuela since we became independent in 1978. We had diplomatic relationship. We know we have the Simon Bolivar up in Roosevelt, up there, up in Stock Farm. We know that. But the only time we saw real, true, tangible, meaningful development coming through from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela is when Dr. the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit came to power.
That I've experienced in the 30 years that I was in Dominica. I think too, one of the biggest things was the transportation of students. And that used to cost us, when I was there, that cost over $2 million. And PM, if you remember, I was the architect. I remember I was the senior planning officer at the time. And I was told to go back and come back with a series of scenarios that would allow us. You would pass through Dominica on a Monday morning, especially when a tourist ship was on board. And all the bus drivers would leave the kids on the road. It used to be a mess. You passed through Maho and it was a mess. Alright? And when we finally got that thing together, and we had to go back so many, when we finally got it together, I thought too that was one of the biggest changes that I had seen in education in Dominica. The ability to be able to transport our kids to and from school, particularly high school kids, and I was, very, very excited about that. And so I want to remind us the importance of education, not only in Dominica but also here in the U.S. Those of you who have children here, you need to push them. A black child in this country faces tremendous odds. I see it every day. I watch it every day. And if you as parents are not advocate for your children, because wherever we are as Dominicans, every single paper that we have, including the passport, the U.S. passport, will say that we were born in Dominica.
Our beautiful Dominica. Because we're stronger than they say, we're better than they know, and we would rise, rise, rise again. We're Dominica strong, and we would show the world that we would rise, rise, rise
2017 marked the strongest hurricane to hit us in decades of centuries, just 2 years after Tropical Storm Erica. But through it all, your love, your faith, and the outpouring of support from around the globe kept us going. I shall never forget the morning after the storm, after spending the night in a corner on the edge of a chair with water dripping all around me. Every 10 minutes, I would get up to empty bowls and pans of water. I said, Lord, why have you forsaken me? Because that's how I felt at the time. I shall never forget the look of the faces of my constituents when I landed on the first helicopter to bring food and water. It all felt like I was in a remote village in Africa. Just like in the movies, my heart was in despair. And then, my brothers and sisters, the magic began. I saw our communities of men and women set their differences aside to start the recovery process.
50 more
Wherever
years.
you are, can you change your country of birth? You are Dominican, whether you live in New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut.
Skerrit 50
So
more
tell
years.
them, I say, this Labour government will not allow anyone to strip you from your democratic right to vote. We shall protect the rights of our people. So I want to really thank you for your tremendous generosity, loyalty, and commitment to your country. It is not easy to run the affairs of a country of many rivers, mountains, and valleys. No matter how easy the Prime Minister makes it look, it takes fortitude, wisdom, faith, and perseverance. There is no leader across the world today who would not give Dominica an A from September 19th, 2017 to now. There is no man or organization who would not give Dominica an A after witnessing our devastation, who doesn't consider our recovery nothing short but remarkable. So the question is, do you remove a government who is working? What real change is there if every idea or policy of your government is copied by the opposition? What would happen if you copied on your classmates in school? Would you change a leader that is well respected around the globe? Would you change a government that has mastered and to hear some of your ideas and comments? I love you.
Thank you very much. And that was the Honorable Denny. Member of Parliament from the Touted constituency. Dennis, I agree, our report card reflects an A. But from where I sit at the UN, I interact with countries and organizations, it's an A+. Thank you so much. At this time, we will hear from Dr. Seng, the candidate for the St. Joseph constituency.
A pleasant good evening to everyone. His Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, Honorable Ian Bowers, Honorable Dennis Charles, and all the other members of the head table. I am so excited to be here tonight. Good Came out in numbers tonight. That shows that you all understand that Dominica is the most important thing right now going ahead. I'm also very happy to have the rest of you from across Dominica with us tonight. I am especially excited to have Dr. Ted Serra in the house. Dr. Serra has been an influence in my life from the time I was a little child, since he taught me for the 5 years of high school. And he always told me that I was going to do great things. So tonight, I am committing to do great things for Dominica. I am honored to be present here tonight, together with Honorable Prime Minister, our Honorable Minister Ian Douglas, and Ms. Dennis Charles. Together, we form part of a formidable team committed to the transformation of Dominica as we seek to achieve a prosperous nation. Dominica has recovered tremendously since the destruction of our nature island by Hurricane Maria less than 2 years ago, and it's all because of the hard work of the present administration and the ability of our leader to create meaningful relationships all over the world, such that we are well respected and assistance is given wholeheartedly by friendly governments and institutions. I want to take this opportunity to thank those of you who live in the diaspora who worked tirelessly to ensure that relief supplies got to our country post-Tropical Storm Erica and Hurricane Maria. May you be blessed abundantly. There is still much work to be done as we strive to make Dominica the first climate resilient country. I assure you, however, that plans are in place to achieve just that, thanks to our astute leader, Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, and his hard-working team. This DLP government has been able to put together a highly qualified and caring team willing to make sacrifices to propel Dominica to a new level. I am proud to be part of this team. As most of you know, I have served in the medical field in Dominica since the age of 18. So, I would like to say that I am qualified to speak on this aspect of our country. My friends, please be vigilant and avoid being the vehicle by which political propaganda and vicious lies bring the level of healthcare in our Dominica has spread via social media. We reward them when we not only believe these lies, but we help publish them. So we need to do our own research. Since 2000, the intervention in our healthcare system and in our healthcare facilities has been numerous. However, today I will focus on the recent advances in healthcare in Dominica. I would like to talk about our new national hospital, the China-Dominica Friendship Hospital. Recently, we celebrated our 15th anniversary with our friendship with China, and it was because of our leader and this Dominica Labour Party government that we established that relationship. Of course, we have benefited greatly, and the hospital is just one of the projects that we have gotten from that relationship. Construction is still on the way, but everything is progressing nicely. Ideally, we should have been already in this hospital, but we had to look at our Chinese workers leaving our shores because of Hurricane Maria. However, we are back on the stream, and as we talk, we are getting ready. We are equipping the first 2 buildings, and we will have the handing over of the first phase in a few weeks. This new hospital will have top-of-the-art equipment. We will have an MRI machine. We all know in the past that our families usually ask us for a little help, or they will come to the government because they need to know an MRI, which is not available in Dominica, and they will have to travel overseas and pay huge sums of money for that. However, we will have that service available soon in Dominica. Recently, I had the opportunity of talking to a lady from St. Joseph who was living here, and she wanted to go back home, and she was concerned about dialysis, since she was wrongly advised that there was no dialysis service. We do have dialysis service, and in this new hospital, we are going to have additional dialysis machines, so we'll be able to take care of all the dialysis needs of our patients in Dominica. We will also have a high-intensity focused ultrasound machine, the HIFU. The same machine that created buzz on social media, since it was mentioned by our Prime Minister. I do hope that my colleagues have since done their research on this piece of equipment and its benefits, especially in patients with prostate cancer, hence they have gone silent. I am sure, since I have worked with Dr. Paul as a surgeon for about 5 years, that he would welcome this new equipment, because I know a prostatectomy was one of the surgeries that he did not like very much because of the complications that could have come and the long aftercare that the orphan ward nurses had to endure because they had to be irrigating. With this HIFU machine, we do not have to go through that. It's a much non-invasive procedure that the patients do not get that much side effects. So when you read all these innuendos on Facebook, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Accompanying this new hospital will not only be this top-of-the-art equipment, but there will also be medical specialists to bring additional services and to strengthen existing ones. In the last 10 years, scholarships from this Labour Party government to young doctors have been given in the following fields. So these are my friends who are back home now from studying in fields such as oncology and hematology. We have Dr. Asha Martin. I know Afi is very proud of her. From internal medicine, we have Dr. Portia Mead. And myself, I tell them I still agree to do whatever they want me to do at the hospital. I'm a Dominican and I'm willing to do it.
Bridges have actually been constructed by our great friends from the People's Republic of China because of the friendship that Dr. the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has been able to establish. Let me give you an example. We had diplomatic relationship with Venezuela since we became independent in 1978. We had diplomatic relationship. We know we have the Simon Bolivar up in Roosevelt, up there, up in Stock Farm. We know that. But the only time we saw real, true, tangible, meaningful development coming through from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela is when Dr. the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit came to power.
Some weeks ago, I said on a political platform that I was in charge. I run things. Well, I am saying tonight that President Trump told me that I am in charge of the tri-state area in America today. I listened to my colleagues here tonight, and I said to myself, well, there's nothing more I need to say. I thought that they were very profound and very articulate on the issues in our country. And of course, the future of our country is very bright with such leadership within the government and of course the party. You know, and I want to greet all of you, my friends and family over here. I'm permanent representative of Barbados United Nations. Thank you for being here. You know, when Hurricane Maria hit us and Dominicans woke up to the destruction and devastation, nobody wanted to be Prime Minister of Dominica. Nobody wanted to be Prime Minister of Dominica. Everybody says, Skerrit, you will run it. Why? But now, things have progressed so dramatically. And I said to you, my friends, it is in times of difficulty. In times of difficulty and adversity, you can determine who are the serious people and who are not the serious people. And there are many Dominicans, and rightly so, because we're dealing with human beings, who when they woke up on the morning after the hurricane, said to themselves that there is no way this country is going to rebound. Dominica is done. Dominica is finished. There are some who left because they could not deal with the challenges that they were confronting. They couldn't deal with the challenges that they were confronting. A country that was flattened. 226% of our GDP was impacted. But we look to the heavens from whence our strength cometh. And the same way in which Christ tested the fortitude and the faith of Job, that's how he tested our country. And we could have either put our arms up in despair or say, by faith we shall rebuild a better and more resilient Dominica. And you know, in the book of Job, Job said, you know, when he was being said, well, you are son of God, why you wasting time, you know? Give up. And he said, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And that is what the leadership of our country did after the hurricane. We stood up and we said to our country, our citizens, that by the grace of God, our country will rebound. And no matter who you are, or what persuasion you are, you cannot deny the fact that our country has made tremendous strides and progress. You cannot say this. You cannot say this. And when, as Prime Minister, I saw this country, we have to commit ourselves to a new vision, a new strategy, a new mission. Because I recognize that there were many countries in the world, the Caribbean included, who were impacted by natural disasters. And we do not have a so-called Godfather in this world. We are a sovereign, independent state, walking our own path. Yes, there are people on that path who have helped us and will continue to help us. But in large measure, it is our solemn responsibility as a country to decide what direction we take. And I felt that we couldn't go to the world and say, well, hurricane hit us, we want money. That's not how, I don't like that, that's my style. And we said, we are going to build the world's first climate resilient nation. And when we said this on the podium at the United Nations, there are countries, and rightly so, and even our own citizens, who are questioning that pronouncement. A country that was a few days ago flattened, no communication, no contact in the world, no pipe on water. Thousands of our citizens, the sky is the roof. And here it is that we are in the international scene saying that we're going to build the world's first climate resilient nation. And I said to Dominicans, and I said to you here as Dominicans in the diaspora, that the world has come to our aid and continues to come to our aid, not because a hurricane hit us in Dominica. It is because they have caught the vision, and they're excited by the express vision to build the world's first climate resilient nation. That is why the world is helping us, my dear brothers and sisters. That is why the world is helping us. And we are grateful for that commitment. Likewise, in 2015, when we were impacted by Tropical Storm Erica, we said to Dominica as a government that we're going to build back better. And if you go back to my speeches in the parliament and elsewhere, you will see where I said to Dominica that we're going to build back better. And if a storm in the magnitude or worse of Erica were to come to us, that will be in a better place. And there are two critical examples. One was the new West Bridge that was built after Tropical Storm Erica. My brothers and sisters, not even the paint Maria touched on this bridge. That bridge stood and withstood the elements of Maria. And of course, the houses we were building in Bedford-Stuyvensant. Not one of these homes, though they were under construction, was negatively impacted by Hurricane Maria. And because and in these homes there we were building and we were putting all of the electrical lines on the ground, all the telephone lines on the ground. You go there and you will not see one telephone line or one cable running across the street on the home. Building back better, building resilient communities. In the event that we're hit, we're able to get back on our 2 feet faster than ordinarily.
Good stuff.
And we're well on our way to achieving this. Dominica now has become the poster boy of climate resilience. There is not one conference in the world that can be held without Dominica being invited and invited to speak. This is what we are doing for Dominica. This is the kind of respect that we're bringing and we've brought to our country. When we have a Dominica now, a Dominica that was looked down upon by nations even in the Caribbean. Many of you here, when you travel, you don't even say that you're from Dominica because of the ridicule that you receive as Dominicans. You change your accent, you sound like somebody else. But today, you speak with your accent as rough and as close as it is because you are proud to be Dominican. Dominica, 10, 15, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, even in the time of the most powerful Dame Eugenia Charles, a lady who had great respect internationally. There's no way a Dominican could think far more to put your nomination as a candidate for any international or regional institution. We were able, this government was able to elect Patricia Scotland to the Commonwealth Secretariat. 54 nations in that organization, and she won. We were able to get Dr. Carissa Etienne into the Pan-American Health Organization. And in the second term, she went unopposed. We got countries in Latin America. We got United States of America, Cuba, Canada to vote for us at power. Because of the relationship we have built with nations and leaders across the world. We got Ambassador Larocque appointed as Secretary General of CARICOM, not only for 1 term but 2 terms, because of the respect which Dominica enjoys among the nations within CARICOM. That is what we have been able to build a sense of pride in ourselves and our country. And this is what we must propagate as Dominicans. This is what must spread as Dominicans. The good about our country. Yes, we will always have differences. Yes, there will be things that can be done better. But at the end of the day, what is our contribution to our country? Do we want to have a sermon of negativism or a sermon of positivity about our country? You live in America. You live in America, a great nation. What has made America great? America recently was a colony of Great Britain, the United Kingdom. And now it is the most powerful nation in the world. The most powerful economy. Because the people spoke positively about America and defended America. And you will have politicians in America who will fight against each other, but the moment they go on a plane and they go out of America, they are Americans. And they will defend the Republic. That is what it is. And even those of you who have become American citizens, I see in one line over the check, that I shall take up arms in defense of the America. Arms. And I'm not asking you to take up arms. I am telling you to use your tongue in defense and promotion of your country. This is what it is, my dear brothers and sisters. And so, one has to appreciate where this country was, the challenges which this country has had to deal with, and where our country is today. And I say with no fear of contradiction, none whatsoever, that there is no Caribbean country outside of Haiti that has been faced with so many natural disasters in the last 20 years. In 2010, Ophelia. 2013, the Christmas trough. 2015, Erica. 2017, Maria. And this government spent from 2000 to 2007 to restore the economic and fiscal health of our country. Understand this? Just imagine where our country would have been had it not been for these disasters and hurricanes. You make 1 step and 5 steps behind because of disasters. But notwithstanding all of those disasters, our country continues to stand, our country continues to grow, our economy continues to grow. Tell me which country in the world would have been able to deal with a situation where 226% of its GDP was impacted. Its revenue came to a halt. Which country wanted to do that? And not send not one public servant home? Not one has not defaulted on one of its debts. We have paid our debts to everybody we owe. Religiously, because this government respects arrangements and agreements it has with people and with institutions and with countries. And that is what Dominica is about. It's about sincerity. People know where we stand on things. And notwithstanding the hurricane, not one social program, social protection program has been impacted. We continue to care for people, let's watch the vulnerable. We continue to do so. In the area of health, my dear sister, Dr. King, articulated a number of very important developments and gains we've made in healthcare. Tremendous, and this is part of an overall strategy. It's not only about the physical infrastructure, but it's also about the training of people, the making of resources available, ensuring that people have access to healthcare. These are the things that we have been able to put in place, and they're now coming together. With the construction of a new hospital, and you know, we naming the hospital the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. But one of the reasons why that has been done is because once we ascribe the word China to this hospital, we expect them to take care of it for us, you know. So what you say, I need a new piece of equipment. Hello? So say it to us from Beijing. So, and also as a sense and a demonstration of gratitude to the government of China. A sincere government, a sincere people who have stood with us for the last 15 years. Stood with us for the last 15 years. So we've been in this new hospital. And here it is. The government is making leaps ahead in terms of the type of equipment, the type of services we have at the hospital. And instead, we as Dominicans celebrate this. Celebrate this. There's some who criticize it.
Yeah, you know? Go ahead. Come on, man.
There's people criticizing it. But the good thing about all of this is that God is on our side and we're on God's side. So, there will be pieces of equipment. For example, this piece of equipment, the high field equipment. And Dr. King is right. Do your own research. There are only 2 Caribbean countries which will have that piece of equipment. The Bahamas and Dominica. We are increasing the dialysis machines from 9 to 12. And when we came into office, there was one dysfunctional dialysis machine. One dysfunctional dialysis machine. And there was no ICU in Dominica before Roosevelt Skerrit became Prime Minister. And because, you know, when you hear somebody speak, is that Dominica was, you know, had so many things and as Skerrit coming home. It is the reverse. When Skerrit came into government, there were so many things that were not in place. In place. And with regards to the Margaret Hospital,